Well, well, well. Would you look at that? Somebody's here on time. What happened? Well, what happened? Family gathering got cancelled. I don't know why, but I hope everything is okay. Oh boy, oh boy. Is this, yeah, this should be working. Hold up. Is YouTube lagging? Nah, doesn't seem like it. I was seeing on my OBS that there was a bunch of dropped frames from the network. I hope that's okay now. It could be because of the VPN. It's open but turned off, and I know sometimes it chokes. So that should be okay now. I hope. Oh, man. To some extent, it's not surprising that stupid things are happening now that we're getting close to the Christmas. Because stupid things happen every single Christmas. I don't mean in the grand scale of things, I mean personally. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. It's endless. Can we have a normal December for once? I guess we can't. That's not allowed. That's too much to ask usually. Thankfully for us, there have been a lot of stupid things happening in real life too. Don't think that's actually good. But hey, it's content? Question mark? I rather not, but hey, since we're here, might as well. Let's get some ultra relaxing JRPG music to focus or study to. I think that's the same I had last time. The first track happens to be Dot Hack again. That's a little bit. That's rather unique, I guess. So let us see. Oh wait. Did I miss something here? No, I didn't. That's useful. So, let us start for today, as usual. What's going on with the streaming platforms? Every single Saturday, the same question. What is going on? I have no idea. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. That seems kinda louder than it should be, right? But I think it's still okay. Okay, let us start first. How about YouTube for a change, shall we? Ah, it's YouTube. It cannot be that bad. Surely not. Oh boy. Here we go. We have this post from Smilek? I thought it was Smilk at first, but I guess not. No milk for us. YouTube uses AI system to terminate channels. The most of the false terminations during the years years in plural, happens in Q4, October to December. Here's the reason. Creators' revenue is significantly higher in the fourth quarter due to major surge in advertising spending by companies during the holiday season. When creators terminated, they didn't receive the money they've already earned. YouTube might be just robbing creators, and what we can see here is just a huge amount of chunks removed, which I find it to be absolutely crazy. In 2024, Q4, 4.8 million. 2023, 20.5 million. That's crazy. That's a lot. Yeah, this is a really good point, right? This guy asks, well, I mean, no business is going to take 1 month's revenue away and lose 12 plus future months of revenue from terminating them. I don't agree with this argument. And here's the reply. The trick is, they never lose any future months of revenue. They have tons of videos to run ads on, and tons of non-monetized creators providing content for free. So why not increase revenue a bit? If this is true, I'm pretty sure it's illegal. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But here we are, right? We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks already. How YouTube is going in a really strange direction that it's really hard to tell what's going on. Some stuff about I never read out that article. I only watched the video. It was not on a stream. I just talked about it. It was from Clownfish TV, if I'm not mistaken. They mentioned some stuff about how since YouTube was trying to become some sort of AI empire or emporium, maybe both, they were offering some big creators like it's some sort of payout for them to live. So you get to live early, but it's a doubly for you, which I don't know if that makes sense for the company, but apparently that's common. I guess I don't know enough about this. And they were mentioning some stuff too about how it was a sinking ship and whatnot. We also had that Obakibam tweet from, it was August already. It's been quite a while. How we've seen metrics plummet. Not because, oh, well, something changed and now you have less people watching. Well, no. You have the same amount of people during a stream, for example, right? But then, a couple days after, you see the metrics and they completely remove between 30 to 50% of your CCV. You know what that means? That means lower revenue for you as a content creator. That also happens with videos to a lesser extent. That also happens with shorts. I do believe the shorts algorithm is just completely jank and there's no fixing it because it's new algorithm and new YouTube is just abysmal. That also happens with even likes. I've seen it in real time, okay? I have seen it. Thanks to me being a really small creator, I can see that really easily. Because I can see small changes. Because for me, a small change is actually a big change, right? A change in, let's say, 1 or 2, for me it's noticeable already. So I can tell it's been happening for quite some time. So, I don't know. Are they actually stealing? It could be. There was also this stuff recently. It was from what's the guy's name again? Camelot, I believe. He was suffering from chargebacks, and the problem itself is not the chargeback, but how the chargeback works. Apparently, I'm not an expert here, but he was having some trouble with between 10 to 20,000 USD in chargebacks, which is a lot of money. The thing is, when you donate to a YouTuber through super chats or the newer, I guess, super thanks, the content creator gets 70%, the platform gets 30%. Okay, sure, that's a reasonable split. But when they charge you back, you had to pay 100%. Isn't that highway robbery if that's how it works? It's really strange. It's really, really strange. There's a little bit more from YouTube here. We have a bunch of AI nonsense because everything has to be AI nowadays, right? What about your manual vacuum cleaner? It still lives rent free in my mind. From Rami Ibrahim. Is this guy Indian? I don't think so, right? Isn't Ibrahim like closer to Jewish? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter really. I just exposed something huge about YouTube system. I posted a sarcastic tweet saying my Google account was hacked by YouTube's AI, and guess what? The YouTube AI immediately replied with a full automated account recovery message. A human review, no context, no logic. I don't think that's really uncommon, but at the same time, you have YouTube working as just the same as scam bots on Twitter, which I'm gonna say it's probably not good. This proves exactly what we've been saying for months. Yet moderation is not human. Yes, we've seen that. It was a tweet from like May. It said it had the placeholder text. Instead reason for moderation, something like that. We saw that like 2 weeks ago maybe. It was hilarious. Really bad, but hilarious. And people decided about bots. Yes, I mean, if you ask for a review and you get the result in seconds, that's not a human. If you're lucky, that's AI. And that's being lucky already. They can distinguish real violations from obvious sarcasm. Yes, I mean, AI cannot. That's one of the big problems that I find with AI as a not a template, a not an abstraction. There's a better word for this. Not a framework. I know I'm getting close. Interface. AI as an interface for communication. Especially written, sarcasm can be really difficult to detect. If it's spoken, it's pretty obvious. Okay, I speak in sarcasm half of the time. The other half percent is just incoherent babble. But AI cannot fathom the concept of sarcasm because it can only parse the text as it is. So it's always gonna be flawed, as this as it is. I don't know if you can teach sarcasm how to parse AI. How to teach AI how to parse sarcasm. I said that backwards. Please understand. I may be lacking a little bit of sleep. See, AI could not copy this. Thousands of creators are losing their chance because of this broken AI. Yes. There was a hilarious case this week. I don't have a tweet for this, but it went absolutely viral. Now, a guy lost his channel because he made the comment way back when he was 13, saying something about, quote unquote, I am 13, which is within TOS. Thing is, it was more than a decade ago. The guy is clearly not 13 anymore, but he's being judged as if that was the case. I'm not necessarily against AI, but they're making it really difficult to love it if they're doing things like this. Then again, that's not something uncommon from YouTube, so I now have to guess, when talking about YouTube, if they have been using some sort of rudimentary AI for quite some time, or they're just this incompetent and they're using AI to mask it. Because we all know that YouTube's rules are retroactive, which should never be the case. Something was within TOS, they changed the rules, and now you get banned. What am I supposed to do? It was within TOS, what do you want from me? But that happens with AI too, so it seems like an excuse, seems like a cop-out, but I think it makes sense. But they only act fast when the word hacked appears. Once again, just like Twitter bots, which they're trying to scam you, so I mean, Indians. It's really easy to make the joke. I mean, joke? And when my real 3 channels were unfairly terminated, I would 102 days with no real human looking at my case. How can anyone trust a platform where a joke gets more attention than a creator losing his livelihood? This isn't a mistake, this is proof. I mean, I know this sounds really bad, it is really bad, but this has been common for YouTube for a long time already. So, I don't know, there's no fixing this. Partially because they don't really care. And here's the tweet, I don't have it open. So, my new account has just been, quote-unquote, compromised, and it suddenly lost access to all 3 of my YouTube channels. The strange part, the one who hacked me seems to be YouTube's own AI system. I wonder if they will get a reply if they didn't mention the hack was from YouTube's AI. Just out of curiosity. If I'm in channels without any permission from me, YouTube, at Team YouTube, I need urgent help by recovering my account and my channels. Nah, this may be a little bit of a cope. I want to believe this guy. I know that YouTube is broken. I know that YouTube algorithms just jank, and their AI is just trash. But the problem here is that you mentioned Team YouTube, and they do have automated replies for that sometimes. It's not perfect. So, I don't know. I don't know if this case is actually believable. So sorry you're going through this. The first steps to check if you're able to recover your account. Follow the instructions listed here. If none of the steps or resources on that page help you get your channel back, come back here and we can try to figure it out. See, I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you here. It would be a funny dunk, but it's hard to believe in this case. Nonetheless, some of the stuff this guy is saying here is absolutely correct. A lot of people have been getting their channels completely destroyed for no reason. Apparently, I don't know if I mentioned this the other day. I think I mentioned this to my mother. We were talking about a bunch of YouTube nonsense. There's this guy I kind of follow. I don't really watch his videos a lot because he's been doing like short streams, and I prefer the videos a little bit. This guy is Norwegian. Let me scroll a little bit on my YouTube feed, just so I can get the correct name. Yeah, you're Andreas Bo Hansen, a Norwegian writer. He talks about society, similar to what we do here, but more cultural and somewhat historical, because he writes about history. He does a lot of Viking stuff, and not so much video games, but let's say our positions are pretty similar. And he got a video stolen and re-uploaded by another guy. So, of course, as you would do, he filed a copyright takedown to YouTube. He got his own video taken down instead of the other guy, which is absolute insanity. There was also this guy that was making tutorials and got also banned. It's been happening left and right, especially recently, so this seems to be actually correct, but people are now being even more vocal than usual, which is obviously good. So it is absolutely hilarious when we have YouTube with the audacity of posting this tweet. If you ever posted a YouTube tutorial on anything, you deserve a gold star. Oh, is this a community notice? YouTube has falsely terminated thousands of tutorial channels in late 2025 alone, wiping out 1 million sub-creators, 13-year archives, and 40,000 sub-channels overnight, with no human review or appeals. From 20 here, you people are so fake. They keep censoring people for expressing their political beliefs. There is favorable to the... Okay, alright. Can we say that? I mean, that's his opinion. I didn't say it. My goodness. I thought he was going in a different direction. Not gonna lie. This is the tutorial YouTubers need nowadays. If YouTube bans your channel, do this. I mean, if it works. Saying this will you're still deleting many helpful channels is diabolical. It's absolutely insane. Holy shit. The audacity. It's endless, man. It's fucking endless. But it keeps happening. Let me take a sip here. I'm thirsty already. Thirsty for justice. But of course, it's never just YouTube, is it? God, if only that was the case. I've seen some people mentioning, oh look, you have the whole live girls streaming onto, well, the holotubers, I suppose, because it's also the whole stars, streaming on Twitch because YouTube moderation is absolute dog shit. Apparently, was it Vialor? It's a smaller vtuber corpo. Also wanted to do on Twitch. And then we have Twitch being Twitch. Twitch now lets you donate 1,000 subs to streamers with 1,000 USD discount. Whoa! What the hell? Hold up. That's a big number. That's a big number. Twitch fans can now gift 1,000 subscriptions to their favorite streamer in one swoop, and will save them 1,000 USD compared to the usual price. I've also seen people complaining about this. I guess I should mention that when we get to a little bit lower here to the prices, which I think is really important. Getting subscriptions and along being a way for fans to show support to their favorite streamers. They can give single subscriptions to select viewers, or drop variations of 5 to random viewers who are also watching along. I'm just a little watching at that point in time, I'm saying. For the longest time, the maximum amount that you could donate in one go had been 100 subs, which is already a lot. But I had been up to 200 in recent weeks. The 200 gifted subscription would cost gifters around 1000 USD. Money was typically saved for the biggest spenders in the community. That's a lot of money. If somebody gives so much in a single go, I would be worried. Okay, are you taking care of yourself? Are you schizophrenic? Are you gonna stab me in the back? Am I gonna wake up to 13 shots to the back of my neck? Hold up. We've seen some people going really overboard, okay? Of course everybody appreciates the generosity, but sometimes there's too much. I think this would be okay if it was like a huge event, right? That would be reasonable. Like a huge subathon and whatnot. But it could be worrisome already. Also, once again, the chargebacks could be extremely detrimental. However, as of November 26th, Twitch is now giving viewers the ability to gift 1000 subs at once. Doing this will cost viewers just under 5000, and comes with a saving of 1000, which is pretty good. Usually, if you don't have any kind of partner plus, if you're just an affiliate, let's say worst case scenario, you will get half of the money. In theory. Because it also counts for your currency in a negative way. Apparently people from Latin America, which have a much worse currency than the USD, instead of getting what should be $2,500, which is half, they would be getting less than 1000. Are they stealing money? I mean, I guess. That's not looking good, what can you say? That's really strange. Also, $5,000 in a single go, that's a huge amount of money. Some people need to work several months, I would say most people need to work several months to achieve this money, and we're not taking into account even the money you need to live month to month. So that's a lot of money. But this lets me make the funny joke. Don't you have $5,000? What are you, some sort of poor? Of course it's a joke, because I made fun of that chick. Don't you have $5? For the longest time. That's a lot of money. They just dropped the new gifted max of 1000 subs. You can save 1000 if you do. Wow, you can save more money, but not doing this. Because a lot of people don't want to give money to Twitch. I understand the gifting subs is fun, is interesting because you get the emotes and whatnot. Sure. But then again, a lot of people don't want to give money to Twitch for obvious reasons. Let's put it that way. Especially when they cannot be asked to properly moderate their site. Additionally, they donate 1000 gifted subs. Streaming star Emiru became one of the first notable names to receive the new amount of gifted subs with a clip of the moment of shooting attention. What the fuck? I'm a specialist, she said. Dude, what the fuck, thank you! I feel like if you just added it, it's not even integrated because it doesn't show here. The streamer added, pointing to the leaderboard of gifted subscriptions. Twitch being broken, imagine my shock. I don't even know how to react. Holy fuck, she continued. That's fucking crazy. Maybe the limits for super chats make sense. The new cap for gifted subscriptions has also meant that Twitch has changed the custom amount as well. So, viewers can give any number of gifted subs as long as they don't surpass 1000. In one go? In a day? How does this work? I have no idea. All the features has gone live on Twitch for all the Twitch streamers. The platform has not yet acknowledged it on social media from its help pages. The FAQ pages still refer to 100 gifted subs being the maximum amount that one viewer can give to a streamer. So a lot of people have been criticizing this because it feels really weird coming from Twitch. instead of adding some useful changes to the site, which would be highly appreciated, they're adding, hey, did you know you can pay more money? Wow, to whom? To Twitch? Yeah, I know. That's not new. We have the Goblin King speaking his truth. I think a lot of people are calling him the Wash King nowadays. I think Goblin King is a little bit more endearing, okay? We enjoy Goblin decks. Speaking of magic, that's for later. Speaking of magic, okay? This is foreshadowing. The goblins in bed with the goblin. Well, maybe he was in bed with the roach. That would explain a lot of things. Asmongold threatens plans for Twitch fans gifting 1,000 subs amid new feature controversy. Yeah, I've seen the clip. I think it's reasonable. Streaming star Asmongold has threatened to ban any Twitch viewers who donate 1,000 subs to him amid controversy over a new limit with heated subscriptions. Donating gifting subs as being one of the most popular ways for viewers to support their favorite streamers. A lot of streamers nowadays, especially nowadays, have other means of getting money from you, not just Twitch or YouTube. They may have Stream Elements or Streamlabs, they may have Patreon, or dare I say, Subscribestar, or some other ways that let you show support without you giving money to these platforms. And just saying, it's not me. Just saying. They can donate single subscriptions to specific gear. We've seen this. Is this the same article? Stop this. Okay, I'm gonna skip this because it's pretty much the same. There we go, the actual meat of potatoes. Everyone wants true fans can afford 1,000 gifted Twitch subs. I mean, 5,000 USD is a lot of money. Make or break for most people. Asmongold, who now splits his time between Twitch and Kick. This is actually incorrect. He doesn't split his time. He multi-streams. I've seen it. He appears in my recommended all the time because he's really big. He's streaming to Twitch and Kick at the same time. It's not a split in time, okay? As a way thing, threatening to permanently ban any member of his community who dug deep into their pockets and dropped 1,000 gifted subs. If you do that to me, you're getting permanently banned. I'm going to say it right now. Anybody gifting me... I almost said 10,000. I guess that's the next step. 1,000 subs, you're getting permanently fucking banned, he said. I'm sorry, but somebody doesn't give you 5,000 USD and not want something out of it. Unless I know that you're a salty Arabian prince. In oil baron, as they say. You do not do it. If you do it, the only way that your bank appeal can come in is you send me your Team 40 from last year. And if it's not 7 figures, you're staying banned. I mean, they could be really strange finance people, right? But I don't think finance people would spend money on streamers. Not because they don't have the money, but because it's not a pragmatic way to do it. They're really strange people, usually. That's the clip. Yeah, that's pretty much what he says. We don't need to play the clip. Should have brought up the tweet, and that's it. And then I'm mentioning it here, but apparently this feature that lets you gift 1,000 subs removed. It's been removed. It's just been removed. And I'm gonna say this, I think that's actually good. This only spells trouble for Twitch if they keep it up. I get it, sure. It's the last quarter of the year. More people spend money and whatnot, but I mean, if you want to gift subs, you can already gift subs. How many people actually gift 100 subs? Not a lot. Some people do, obviously. That's what, 500 USD? Still a lot of money. More manageable than 5,000, that's for sure. I mean, it's a change of 10 times, right? So, obviously so. But it's clear to me that Twitch is just trying to scratch any money they can. Some people are saying that this is a sinking ship. I think it has been a sinking ship for way too long, honestly. And now we have something really strange. Wholesome, but strange nonetheless. That's not just YouTube and Twitch. Do you like VTubers? If not, what are you doing here? We've talked before about the Chroma VTubers, and apparently we have a new one. Hiroku, a VTuber, is an 87-year-old Japanese grandmother who gives life advice to young people. She's the leader of Meta Grandma, a project helping other grandmothers become VTubers. Which is apparently just another group for Grandma VTubers. I'm 87, see? I'm not that old. I'm just a young promise in the industry, after all. What a cope. What a cope. I'm seeing a tweet. I didn't save it. It's a shame because I never found it again. She was mentioning something about how she became a VTuber. It was thanks to her, and I quote, stupid grandson. So that's kinda cute. We have here some replies. Nice replies for once, because this is Deserto. This is a normie city. It's really bad. Usually when they talk about Haramas, but who cares about this? Who watches this? I don't know, a lot of people? Do you know that Harama is really big? I mean, as a content creator, no, probably not as a person. I wouldn't know, but I don't think so. I actually think it's a way to give the elderly an opportunity to connect with others while also sharing their wisdom and life experiences. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, that's nice. As a grandma who enjoys life in the simplest way possible. Here we're gonna teach my grandpa to this to respect. We got Grandma vtuber before GTA 6. It's not the first one, but sure. It's actually incredibly wholesome. You see, a lot of good replies. Hey, that's pretty good. Finally! Finally, something good. But then again, VTubing is inventing new kinds of pedophilia never before thought of. What the hell are we talking about? Guys, is it pedophilia to be watching an 87-year-old woman using a virtual avatar? Yes or no? Answer this. Is this pedophilia? What the fuck is going on? These people are absolutely insane. Once again, they don't understand anything they're talking about. Pedophilia is one of those words that have completely lost its meaning. Call me... I don't know. Call me stupid if you wish. I don't think this is a term that should lose its meaning. Okay? I think pedophilia is a really big problem in one of the worst crimes we've seen. What the hell? I know this account. I don't want to scroll. Women see slurs. I'd rather not. We have something about the Jewish elites. I don't know if I can take everything here, okay? Please understand. I'd rather not get banned. I think I'm small enough that I can do this without getting banned. But then again, I don't want to risk it. I think that's reasonable. Normies, man, what the fuck? Also, I guess we could go back here. Does this look like a minor? I don't know, this looks like anime. Especially if she's talking about her stupid grandson. Literally, Bakamagu, I think she said. There was a subtitle, I don't quite remember. Literally, I'm not making shit up. It's insane. I want these filthy animals out of my sight at once, okay? We cannot go on like this. Well, now that's a segue. Speaking of filthy animals, how about that? Let's talk a little bit about this fucking stupid thing about the chat control in the EU. God, it pisses me off too. Chat control's back, but slightly changed. No backdoor of encryption, no force scanning, but Age verification. No anonymity. The idea just clearly passed in the EU Council and now needs to be discussed with the EU Parliament. Things like Gmail and WhatsApp will continue to scan your data. Will you keep fighting against child control? Even if it comes to pass, people should still speak out against it. Because why would you let these insane people know your every single move? Oh, it's so scary. You could be saying no words. You know what can you say to them? You people can suck my ass. I don't care. Jesus Christ, you cretins are so annoying. We have a short clip about this that actually makes me boil inside. I'll stop the music for a second. So let's get to it. From Regina Doherty. I'm not just a politician, I'm a parent, first and foremost, and I'm tired of watching the online world chip away at children's well-being. Europe is finally taking action, and I'm glad our blueprint for online child safety passed this week. We can see an insane ratio here. I haven't seen anything this brutal in a while. But just the text here is insane. I'm a parent, first and foremost, and I'm tired of watching the online world chip away at children's well-being. This in itself is a massive contradiction. Okay, if you're worried about how the online world chips away at children's well-being, why are you not parenting properly? This has always been the main problem. Why are you not parenting properly? Oh, it's so difficult. In a really strange turn of events, she's making, because it's a woman, I mean it's Regina, we're gonna watch the clip, it's a woman. You're making the case for maybe things were better when you had mom at home taking care of the kids. Imagine that. Let's watch the video.
If a company put children's lives at risk in the real world, we'd shut them down. Online platforms should face exactly the same responsibility and exactly the same consequences.
The same responsibility. I don't think the responsibility is necessarily theirs.
We've had enough of weak enforcement, weak rules, and far too little responsibility, whether it's under 16s on social media without proper parental control.
Well, there's under 16s in social media without parental control, but I thought you were a parent. I thought you cared about kids. You don't care about kids. This is just an excuse, as usual, to put more control in. Also, it's really funny. Under 16s without parental control on social media. Okay, under their TOS, because there's no law against it, it's just it's social media platform TOS. They can be on the platforms as long as they're 13 plus, not 16 plus. This is a new metric. If you want to enforce it, I mean, sure, technically you are the government and you can do it, but you cannot just be like, this is the platform's fault. Well, no, this is literally a new metric, so you can't really blame the platforms anyway. You know, this is absolutely dire when I'm actually defending some of the worst platforms on the internet.
Addictive design keeping children hooked for hours, or
Addictive design keeping children hooked for hours. I don't like TikTok. I was for the TikTok ban for different reasons, because it was data breach to China and whatnot. You can disagree with me. I don't think the EU was trying to ban TikTok. Isn't that a little bit suspicious? Ah, god fucking damn it. Stop it with the fucking clankers. There we go. Piss me off. Also, I can wait. I can wait until we get into the article.
AI bots preying on our children's fears and insecurities.
AI bots bringing our children's fears and insecurities. I'm not the biggest fan of AI. I think that's established. An established fact. I do believe that AI is a tool with a lot of potential. I've used AI with great effect for specific things. Once again, we're ignoring the main problem here. What about kids on social media without parental control? What about them just getting addicted to algorithms? What about the AI bots exploiting them? What about parents take care of their kids? If you know what's going on with your kid, you can prevent all of this. No child of mine is gonna be using TikTok, okay? Mark my words. Mark my words. If you're, oh, so scared about what can happen, why are you not parenting your kids properly? Because you'd rather not do it. Parenting is so difficult. See, I cannot parent my kids properly. I cannot be asked. I'd rather be a stupid politician in the EU, bringing more control to the masses, than parenting my kids properly. So that means nobody can parent their kids properly. Nowadays, I'm actually inclined to believe that because I've seen way too many stupid people having kids. So, you know who's gonna do it? Not even the state. It's gonna be even worse. It's gonna be the EU. People you think cannot actually vote into power. Congratulations. Congratulations.
We need real age checks, real safeguards, and real consequences. And we absolutely must ensure that we're giving parents and children the resources and the information that they require.
We need the safeguards. Unless you belong to the EU government. Oh boy, isn't that funny? Isn't that fun? Isn't that curious? Well, of course. Rules for thee, but not for me, exist for a reason.
To tackle this issue effectively. Tired of parents feeling.
Also, this is absolutely hilarious. We absolutely must ensure that we're giving parents and children the resources and the information that they require. I'm assuming to keep this rampant AI, these strange algorithms all in check. It's really easy. It's really easy. You cannot access the internet with your mind. You need a device. So you know what happens? The parent can take the devices away. It's that easy. It's just that easy. Wow, parenting properly? Saying no to the kids? Oh, that's abusive. And then people wonder why kids nowadays are so ill-mannered, so stupid, and there's no fixing this. Well, you have to fix the parents first. It may be a lost cause after all.
To tackle this issue effectively. Tired of parents feeling like we're left to fight this battle all on our own.
I'm tired of parents feeling like we're left to fight this battle all on our own. You're trying to make it so these poor parents have to fight huge tech conglomerates like Google, like Twitch, like Twitter, I guess. No. No, you don't. That's just the third party. They have nothing to do with the main problem. The main problem is how you properly parent your kids. Did you know people were raising kids thousands of years ago? I'm gonna be real. I don't think people were big into TikTok back in the Roman Empire, for example. Well, I wouldn't know. I wasn't there, right? But I'm assuming. It's really easy to parent your kids properly. Even when I was young, kids were raised properly. Some of them, not all of them, obviously. I was raised more or less okay, I suppose. At least when we were talking about this kind of tech. Oh, be careful on the internet. There's a lot of dangerous people out there. Do not believe everything you see. Nowadays, it was on the internet. It had to be real. When you can see literally the AI watermark. Back in my day, we didn't have AI. We just had liars, which is still also bad. But you understand what I'm trying to say.
On our own. With this report, we are setting clear expectations, and it's time for the Commission, Member States and platforms to enforce them. This is Europe saying no more.
Also, they keep saying, this is Europe saying. No, it's not. This is not Europe saying. This is the European Commission saying, which is the European Union, which is an absolute disaster of a government. This does not reflect the will of the people. There we go. So of course, we have an article for this. I mean, we can see the replies. They're pretty much this. Control of internet speech. How would you like this wrapped? Anti-terrorism or protect the kids? Why not both? Oh, isn't this a beautiful smile? European Parliament passes bill for mandatory digital ID. Oh, great. Europe's political class just taking another leap toward the system of mandatory digital identification for the general public after passing a sweeping new bill in the European Parliament. However, despite widespread concerns about surveillance and centralized control, European Union elites are packaging the block-wide digital ID rollout as protecting the children. This kinda pisses me off a lot, because of course, you see a lot of people using the... will anybody think of the children as some sort of criticism? You can worry about the children, because did you know that kids are stupid, kids are vulnerable, and they should be protected? Wow, what a take. I'm gonna get flagged for this, actually. That is true, and you cannot convince me otherwise. The problem here is that they don't really care about the children. They use the children as an excuse to screw everybody over. God damn it. The European Parliament voted overwhelmingly to endorse EU-wide age verification rules that would apply to every major social platform, video service, and AI chatbot. This measure is technically non-binding. They mention non-binding, but if they vote for it, it will be applied anyway, so I don't know what's going on. It's a mess of a government. I'm not sure what's going on here, really. But the vote, 483 in favor, 92 against. Still, stop reloading on your own. I hate the sites that just reload on their own. It's so annoying. Signals that the EU's long-planned digital identity system is no longer theoretical. It was never theoretical. We've seen how they want to implement the digital euro too. Just a matter of time, because it takes time, because it's the government, they're incompetent. They have to justify their existence. It has become the precondition for participating in digital life. Behind the soft language of safety is something far more sweeping. The architecture of a permanent digital checkpoint state. You can say surveillance states, because that is also correct. The EU's child safety plan requires constant identity checks. The new framework would enforce... Brain, tongue, can we work together here for a second? The new framework would enforce every internet user to re-identify themselves every 90 days. Just to keep accessing everyday platforms. That's insane to me. My identity is not going to change. I'm still the same guy. It's really funny, if I'm, let's say, 21, because I do believe 21 is more than enough to be an adult in every corner of the EU. If I am 21, and 90 days pass, I'm gonna be 21, unless I'm 22. The age is not going back. Once you're an adult, you're just an adult. It's not about checking your age, it's have you controlled as usual. Who is this guy? Who is this strange person that keeps talking on the internet? Children under 13 will be banned outright. This begs the question, actually. Children under 13 will be banned outright. Can you actually enforce this? What I mean with this is, for example, YouTube. Nowadays, if you want to peruse Twitter, you need to make an account. It was not the case back in the day. But you can just scroll YouTube without an account, and the platform will know if you're 13, 18, or 87. So even if you don't have an account, do you have to identify yourself to the site? Doesn't make a lot of sense. But what do I know about tech, after all? Teens aged 13 to 16 would lose access unless their parents continually grant permission. The new system will be controlled by unelected bureaucrats at the European Commission, the same executive branch pushing the digital ID program, and this is the main problem I have with all of this. One of the problems I have with all of this, it's not the main, but it's a big one. These are the strange goblinoids that constantly talk about democracy. And they have the audacity of talking about democracy when they are an unelected government that you cannot vote out. Democracy, my ass. You can add to that the case of, okay, we've been trying to push chat control for years, because it's nothing new. It's been going on for years. We only know about it nowadays. And they were getting a no constantly in the votes. But the no doesn't mean no. The no always means not yet. Okay, they said no. How about we try once again in 3 months? That's the problem. That's the problem with this. I'm sick and tired of democracy, especially this fake democracy they're just using here as a weapon. Because the no has to win every single time. But the yes only needs to win once. That's the problem here. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. In the meantime, when they tell you no, okay, no, but just a little bit. Because they keep telling chat control no. How about just age verification? How about you get the hell out of my sight? See what I fucking mean? They make me so mad, dude. There's no easy way to fix this. Well, there's an easy way, but we can't talk about it. For obvious reasons. I don't want to get banned. To make this possible, the resolution... Stop reloading! What are you doing? I'm not gonna pay you if you keep reloading, you stupid clown. To make this possible, the resolution pushes 2 pieces of infrastructure that the EU has been quietly building for years. The EU Digital Identity Wallet. That's a triple whammy. Which attaches government-verified identity to online accounts. It's a wallet for a reason. So the Digital Euro is gonna be here too. Oh, you said a no word. Now you cannot buy stuff. Oh! I didn't know this was China! And they will tell you somebody won a war or something. Sure thing, pal. A mandatory age verification app controlled by the European Commission. This is hilarious. This is absolute lunacy. I know I mentioned this before when we were talking about digital ID in the UK. I said something that I was completely right. Oh, how did I know? How am I right every single time? Can I see the future? No, it's really easy. It's something that has been happening for decades. Mandatory age verification app controlled by the European Commission. The government, when we're talking about tech, especially here in Europe, they don't know anything. they're 10 to 15 years behind constantly. Literally happened this year with the UK. Okay, I'm not making this up. That's the most recent example. So this is gonna be old technology, this is gonna be faulty technology, this is not going to work. But even better than that, it's gonna be the case of, okay, how is this app not getting hacked or bypassed? Because you could potentially use the app, do some reverse engineering, get the endpoints of the API, and make a new app for the verification to send the correct information just with a click. Well, a click. I guess it's a phone, right? It should be a tab. But I didn't tell you this, okay? I didn't tell you this. Oh, that would be illegal. That's not allowed. Surely. Together the digital ID and wallet systems erase the last remnants of online anonymity. Even further, all systems on the internet will require continuous authentication. Not once, not occasionally, but as a recurring condition of access. If I'm an adult today, and I've been an adult for a while, I'm not going to stop being an adult. It doesn't make any sense, but it's not about security. I don't know how many times they had to say this. This is not a safety policy. It is normalization of digital papers at every doorway. Papers please. Don't you like the Soviet Union? What do you mean no? Platforms will be forced into compliance or banned. Oh boy, this is hilarious to me. Was it this one? Maybe it was not this one. We'll see. The test demands sweeping corporate obedience, restrictions on addictive or manipulative designs, bans on engagement-based algorithms, which I don't think they're necessarily bad. I don't like TikTok. I think TikTok is pure brain rot, it's just like heroin for kids. But let's say YouTube, right? You're probably using YouTube right now, after all. I want the recommendation to give stuff that makes sense from what I've watched before. If I keep watching stuff about, I don't know, let's say TTRPGs, I think TTRPG peeled this past couple of weeks, I don't know why. Sure, this engagement-based algorithm, at least that's what I'm assuming it is, because it's the government, they probably don't know what they're talking about anyway. Yes, YouTube algorithm showing me more TTRPG stuff would be okay. It would be desirable if it starts showing me, I don't know, some people playing rugby, I'd be like, okay, why? I don't like a sports ball, what are you doing? It wouldn't make any sense. Who knows? Who knows what they mean by this? Prohibitions on gambling style features, which is kind of a thing already in the EU. I do remember when they banned, was it just buying currency or was it just full-on gacha? I'm not sure. This was years ago in, was it Belgium? Was it Denmark? I don't know. It was one of those small countries that have a coastline, I guess. I know it's not saying much in Europe, but please understand, it's been years. I don't remember. I think it was Belgium, but I could be incorrect. These little boxes are really dangerous. They need to get banned. And thanks to that, you cannot even participate in Twitch predictions using channel points. Channel points on Twitch are not actual money. It's a special currency you get when you keep watching people that have a listing affiliate. The gambling! Jesus Christ. And penalties for platforms that fail to comply. Sure thing, pal. The Parliament even endorses holding individual executives personally liable for violations. Companies that don't obey could be barred entirely from operating in the EU. You hold way less power than you think you do. Which is funny to me. While the measure is branded as a shield for minors, it also targets adult spaces from deepfakes to companionship chatbots to AI agents and Unity apps. But they will tell you, it doesn't matter if it's adult only, because kids could join in if they wanted to. Okay, why is a kid joining any of this if it's for adults only? Once again, I must ask, where are the parents? In other words, nothing like escapes EU regulation. In theory. Behind every line of legislation has the same danger score. Access becomes conditional on identity. Once digital identity becomes tied to browsing, posting, messaging, or even reading online content, anonymity disappears. And I just realized something here that I didn't think when I first read this article. I needed to make sure this was something that would be fruitful for us today. What are you supposed to do as a tourist from outside of the EU visiting the EU? Let's say you're an American and you got to visit Italy. Ah, Italy. Ah, mamma mia! Pizza! Espresso! Spaghetti! You catch it, right? Okay, Italy obviously belongs to the EU, and they're going to go forward with this. How do you have to, as an American, using an Italian internet connection, identify yourself to the European government for something that shouldn't affect you directly? Because those laws are not for you, even if you're visiting, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know if that's gonna be an actual problem. Maybe I'm just saying nonsense. And once anonymity disappears, speech becomes fragile, visible to governments, corporations, political enforcers, and anyone else who stands behind the digital gate. Anyone else who stands behind the digital gate, meaning bad actors, by the way. Bad actors not from the government only, I want to add. The new system will usher in a new set of globally approved rules where every login is a checkpoint, every user is a traceable data trail, every ping is connected to a verified legal identity. But of course, there is free speech. Of course, you can say whatever you want. Surely you won't get in jail for posting memes on social media, right? That only happens in strange countries like China and the UK. So, yeah. Oh, that could never happen here. Think again. And if you think this is not gonna happen to you because you're not European, it's coming. It's coming. We've seen how this is going on too in Australia, New Zealand. I don't know about Canada, it wouldn't surprise me. And different states in the US. Trust me, it's coming for you. There's a future where dissent becomes punishable, privacy becomes suspicious, and online life becomes a fully monitored space. EU lawmakers admit they want to end the internet as we know it, which is absolutely hilarious to me. Stop it. Danish MEP Crystal Schaldemose, who led the proposal, defended the crackdown by portraying the internet as a chaotic experiment controlled by global tech powers. You're only mad because Europe doesn't have a tech power. And I'm gonna be real, a skill issue. Skill issue, my guy, what can you say? You're in the middle of an experiment where American and Chinese tech giants have unlimited access to the attention of our children and young people for hours every single day. Almost entirely without oversight, she told Parliament. Okay. Why didn't you have tech giants too? That's the main problem. The only problem here is that this is from outside. Not the main problem, but a big problem for them, I suppose. Also, did you notice the wording here? It's really suspicious. Our children and young people. Okay, who are these young people? Are they children? I'm assuming no, because they're separate, children and young people. So if they're not children, I'm assuming they're young adults. Even if they're young, they're still adults, so You're trying to parent somebody that's already an adult. Then again, you're also trying to parent me. I'm not a young adult. Am I? I wouldn't know. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I could be an 87-year-old grandma VTuber and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. That'd be the final trick here. His statements shall most continued by calling out Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and China's Communist Party and their tech proxies at TikTok. This is hilarious. I don't think Elon is comparable to the Lizardman or China. Also, it's really funny they're calling out China when they're doing literally the same. It's not fair. They get to do it, but we can't, okay? We could be China too, but more stupid. God damn it. With this report, we finally draw a line, she added. We're saying clearly to the platforms, your services are not designed for children, and the experiment ends here. This is really funny to me, because even the platforms themselves say, this is not for children. As far as I know, Twitter nowadays is only for adults. If you're a kid, get out. What are you doing there? And above all, parents, what are you doing? Stop selling your asses to the government. You can never buy them back. The rhetoric is emotional, but the mechanism is authoritarian. Once again, here is. You're creating a system where privacy becomes a privilege. The age verification excuse was the same tactic used globally to justify digital ideas. First, claims to protect children, then link access to identity, then expand the system to all users. They normalize surveillance as the price of participation. This is hilarious to me, coming from the EU. The region who, in theory, has data protection laws, especially to protect kids, but it's fine if they do it. Of course, it's not only gonna be them, because that information has to go through the social media platforms. So, you have two European laws that contradict each other. Then again, that's by design. Not a bug, it's a feature. If this resolution becomes policy, Europe will have built the world's first continent-wide identity control internet, where everything you say and do dates back to a government-verified profile. No, that's wrong. It's not the first. China did it first. Once the architecture exists, the temptation to weaponize it for censorship, financial control, political enforcement, or emergency restrictions is inevitable. I've been hearing, speaking of emergencies, I've been hearing some stuff about some animal sickness going around. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But apparently, some countries are preparing for another huge pandemic. How curious. The Parliament's vote may be non-binding today, but digital infrastructure endorses will not be optional tomorrow. It won't be, and when they mention here financial control, it's not a possibility, it's also a feature. Once again, if we scroll back up here, whatever it was, EU digital identity wallet. Oh jeez, I wonder what the wallet is. Oh jeez, I wonder if it has anything to do with the digital euro they want to implement. You think? You think? Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. It's endless. It's endless babble with this. It all goes back to parents being unable to parent their kids. It all goes back to the population not caring about what's going on in their countries. And above all, it goes back to having a bunch of unelected clowns here working as a government. Democracy? Democracy? I reject this. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, you can keep complaining. It's all we can do. You can keep calling your representatives in theory. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. It's the tool you have, so you better do it, I guess. But this is insane. This is truly insane. ISSL, be prepared. This is also coming for you. Oh, brother. There's another thing here about child protection, which I don't know really what's about. So we can take a look. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it. I'm not sure what's about, so I cannot tell you yet if it's trash or not. I don't have high expectations for this, as you might expect. From the European Council. Child sexual abuse. Council reaches position in law protecting children from online abuse. Online abuse? Just walk away, Lamal. How is this a thing? Just walk away, Lamal. The EU is stepping up its efforts to fight child sexual abuse. Today, EU member states representatives agreed on the Council position on a regulation to prevent and combat child sexual abuse. Okay. In theory, nothing wrong with that. But we'll say, I'm seeing this guy, I'm seeing, once again here, Peter Hummelgaard. Not a fan of this guy. He's one of the guys that's also pushing for more control from the government. The new law, once adopted, comes with obligations for digital companies to prevent the dissemination of child sexual abuse material and the solicitation of children, which I'm pretty sure you don't need a law for this, because I do believe this is already within the law. I mean, the dissemination of child sexual abuse material is already illegal, and the solicitation of children is already illegal. So, what are we doing here? What kind of insane omnibus is this? The competent national authorities will have the power to oblige companies to remove and block access to content, or, in the case of search engines, delete search results. That's already happening! What are we saying here? Is this actually new? November 26, 2025. This is actually a thing already. What? They're trying to imply that search engines and social media sites just have rampant problems with child sexual abuse. They do, but not because it's legal, but because there's a lot of content and it's difficult to police. The regulation also establishes a new EU agency. Oh boy, more people taking money. The EU Center on Child Sexual Abuse to support member states and online providers implementing the law. Oh boy, a quote from Peter. Peter, it's that guy again. Every year, millions of files are shared that depict the sexual abuse of children, and behind every single image and video is a child who has been subjected to the most horrific and terrible abuse. Okay? I don't know about millions. I mean, living in the world, yeah, I guess. In the EU, from what we've seen, that seems to be false. This is completely unacceptable. Therefore, I'm glad that the member states have finally agreed on a way forward that includes a number of obligations for providers of communication services to combat the spread of child sexual abuse material. I'm so out of this, man. I'm pretty sure this is already in the law. I don't know. I don't know. It's really weird. Hold up. Notification here. Okay, it doesn't matter. Risk assessment and mitigation. Under the new rules, online service providers will be required to assess the risk that their services could be misused for the dissemination of child sexual abuse material or for the solicitation of children. What? I mean, literally any social media site, because you can just talk to people and send files. I mean, it's obviously bad, but this once again feels like an overreach. I don't know. On the basis of this assessment, they will have to implement mitigating measures to counter that risk. Such measures could include making available tools that enable users to report online child sexual abuse. I'm pretty sure that's already a thing every site that I know of. To control what content about them is shared with others and to put in place default privacy settings for children. Maybe the kids shouldn't be there. Once again, where are the parents? I keep screaming to the void, it's completely useless. Member states will designate national authorities, coordinating and other competent authorities, responsible for assessing the risk assessments and mitigating measures, with the possibility of obliging providers to carry out mitigating measures. In the event of non-compliance, providers could be subject to penalty payments. Risk categories, this could be a little bit more useful. The Council introduces 3 risk categories for online services, based on a set of objective criteria. For example, its type. Each service will be classified as high, medium, or low risk. Based on this categorization, the authorities can oblige online service providers classified in the high risk category to contribute to the development of technologies to mitigate the risks relating to their services. This means accessing the data directly. How do you explain this properly? I don't think I'm making enough sense. This probably means if you're in a high risk category, which could be Twitter of all places, the government claiming kids could be in danger could look at every single piece of information, including private messages. Also, doesn't that encroach potentially people from outside? Let's say somebody from the EU is talking to somebody from Japan, right? I want a commission for anything, and you use Twitter for communication. You're also encroaching on Japanese guy privacy. That's way outside of the scope of your law or country or government. I don't think Japan belongs to Europe yet. I don't know, everything just seems like an overreach of power here. And I guess that's just the case, because if it looks like that, and it works like that, it probably is the thing. Assistance for victims. Online companies have to provide assistance for victims who allowing child sexual abuse material depicting them to be removed. Pretty sure that's the thing already? Because once again, child sexual abuse material is against the law. So, everything you do, even as a user, to prevent it or to have it removed, is within the law. And it's actually reasonable. Requires the attachment material to be disabled. To that end, victims can also ask for support from the EU Center. The EU Center will, for instance, check whether the companies involved have removed or disabled access to the items which a victim wants to be taken down. Volunteer activities of providers. The Council also wants to make permanent and currently temporary measure, classic government. It allows companies to voluntarily extend their services for child sexual abuse. We've seen this. We've seen this before. We've seen how that automatic system they used had a 50-50 chance of just having false positives or false negatives. I don't remember which one. At present, providers of messenger services, for instance, may voluntarily check content shared on the platforms for online child sexual abuse material and report and remove it. This allows thanks to an extension from certain rules specific to the electronic communication sector. This extension is due to expire on April 3rd, 2026. According to the Council position, it will continue to apply. Pretty sure this will also apply to fiction. For some reason they love going against fiction. I don't know why, I just don't get it, but that's the state of affairs, okay? Really stupid. EU Center. The new law provides for the setting up of a new agency, this EU Center of Child Sexual Abuse, to support the implementation of the regulation. The EU Center will assess and process the information supplied by the online providers about child sexual abuse material identified on services, and will create, maintain, and operate database for reports submitted to it by providers. It will further support the national authorities in asserting the risk that services will be used for spreading child sexual abuse material. Okay, but once again, this is not a law problem. This is a policy, not a policy, a policing problem. This is already illegal. I'm pretty sure the police is hard at work trying to crack down on this when they can. It's I don't know. When they talk about access and process the information supplied, yeah, it's not just about the gates, is it? Center is also responsible for sharing companies' information with Europol and national law enforcement bodies. Furthermore, it will establish a database of child sexual abuse indicators, which companies can use for their voluntary activities. The Council position does not stipulate the location of the EU Center. This will be decided together with the European Parliament in a separate procedure. Everything just to have more money. So it's a part of the thing. Next steps. On the basis of today's agreement, the Council can start negotiations with the European Parliament with a view to agreeing on defense regulation. The European Parliament reaches its position in November 2023. I don't get it. I truly don't. This is not really a new law. This shouldn't be a new law or anything like that. Because everything you're showing me here is already illegal. If it's already illegal, you don't need like a new committee for that. It doesn't make any sense. What are we doing here? It's just a bunch of nonsense. Sure, I know that child pornography is still on the internet and it shouldn't be. It's a case of policing, not law. It's like a waste of money, which is probably the case anyway. And speaking of the EU, I guess we have this strange arc. From Euronews, EU countries must mutually recognize same-sex marriages. ECG rules. It's not long. Let's read this first before I say my thing. The European Court of Justice has ruled that member states must recognize same-sex marriages lawfully concluded in another member state. The decision is poised to be created positively by Europe's LGBTQ+ community. Yeah, no fucking shit, Sherlock. What were you expecting here? Countries of the European Union must recognize a same-sex marriage lawfully concluded anywhere in the bloc, even if their domestic legislation does not provide for it. The European Court of Justice said in a ruling on Thursday, refusing the recognition of a lawful marriage is contrary to the EU law because it infringes the freedom and the right to respect for private and family life, the judge said, and make a serious inconvenience on the administrative, professional, and private levels, forcing the spouses to live as unmarried persons. You pieces of fucking shit. I'm not against gay marriage, but the problem here is, contrary to EU law, I don't fucking care about EU law. EU law cannot be above the country's law, okay? The EU is not a federation, it's not like the US. Despite what they might tell you, they're not like states in a federation. They're actual countries with actual constitutions. The EU law cannot be against the country's law because the country is paramount. In this case, it's gay marriage, but it could be something else. This is just an example of how the EU keeps encroaching in an insane way into each country's own sovereignty. That's part of the plan. Fucking globalists! I'm going Super Saiyan here, man. Holy shit. And this is a huge fucking problem too. Because I don't need to finish this to give my take, I guess. Let's say you live in a country that belongs to the European Union that doesn't have same-sex marriage. I don't know what country it could be. Hungary, maybe? I don't know. You get two citizens that want to have a gay marriage. They can't. But they also have citizenship of different countries from the EU. Let's say, I don't know, France? Maybe Italy? I have no idea. I assume those countries have gay marriage. They go to France they get married in France, everything is completely legal because they're all citizens of France, and they come back to Hungary. You're breaking the law. I don't know how you want to spin this, but you're breaking the law. If your country is telling you this doesn't work here, you're going a different route to supersede the law. Doesn't make it lawful, it makes it unlawful. And it's gonna be an insane issue for bureaucracy. Because let's say, in this case, I keep saying Hungary, I don't know if this is the case, it's just an example, please understand, okay? Let's say that for different forms, legal forms and bureaucracy forms in Hungary, as this is the example, the marriage has to be man and woman, but now suddenly you have two men. You can't fill those forms properly. That's a big problem. Because you couldn't follow your country's law. I'm not against gay marriage, but it's a big problem if you want to supersede the law. Okay? If you want to get married in your country, you could push for it. I think pushing for stuff in your country makes sense. It's your country. But no. But the European Union said so, but I don't care about the European Union. They're a bunch of hacks, they're unelected, I don't care about them. They can't tell you what to do. You're a sovereign country after all. They're gonna kick you out. I wanted to leave already. You don't have to sell that to me. I was agreeing with that already. It's insane, it's truly insane. Also, saying unmarried persons is a little bit funny to me because I do believe these countries will have some sort of legal binding similar to marriage. That's not quite marriage, right? I think that's the case. It's some sort of spatial couple. I don't know how you call that in English. I have no idea. And I have a friend. He's a guy. He has a girlfriend. They've been together for a couple of years already. They seem to be okay together. Cool. As far as I know, they don't want to marry. They want to go through the... Am I missing people? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think they want to get married. I think they want to resort to one of these legal bindings. Which, I mean, you do you. I don't care. It's your relationship. I'm not gonna tell you what you have to do. But you may have straight people doing so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just bureaucracy, after all. The case involves the Polish citizens who married in Berlin in 2018 and then returned to Poland, where they requested that their German language marriage certificate be transcribed into the Polish Civil Register for recognition. I could have read a little bit more, and I would have a better example of what I was trying to say. God damn it, am I yapping too much? That's never a problem, right? The request was refused because Poland does not allow same-sex marriage. Literally what it said with different countries. Also, it's kind of funny to me that they're using a German gay marriage as an example. Comedy. The couple challenged the decision to the Polish Supreme Administrative Court, which referred to the matter to the ECG in Luxembourg, and Thursday the judges ruled the matrimony was valid through the 27-member bloc. The fuck are you supposed to do if your country does not allow for that bureaucracy? Now you have to add bureaucracy. You don't have to force law into your country because an external government told you to do so. You don't hate the EU enough, man. What a bunch of fucking hacks. Can it collapse already? Despite the question, as EU citizens, enjoy the freedom to move and reside within the territory of the member states, and the right to lead a normal family life when exercising freedom and upon return to the member state of origin, they said. Yes. However, they are still enjoying the freedom to move and reside within the territory of the member states, and they can still live normal family life when they go back to their state of origin, that doesn't have anything to do with the law, with this bureaucracy, with this contract. This is an overreach of power, and I don't like it. Because a super government shouldn't tell your country what you do, because it's an actual country. But then again, I do miss when the EU was not a thing. It was what was the name? Like European Economic Community, I think so. It's just about economics, just about trade. Holy shit, it was so much better. You don't need a government for that. It's only been a disaster since then. Just know that the decision does not compel member states to amend or domestic legislation to recognize same-sex marriage. You don't actually know that. It depends on the bureaucracy of the actual member state. It could happen. Instead of obliging them to recognize marriages lawfully concluding in another EU country. Okay. Am I being stupid here? I don't think I am. Let's put this in a more simple way. Did you just know that the decision does not compel member states to amend domestic legislation to recognize same-sex marriage, but they have to recognize marriages lawfully concluding in another EU country, which includes same-sex marriages, which might not be lawful to their country. So once again, the EU is telling you, you know what? These are your laws, we don't care about them. How about fuck you? How about I want you filthy animals out of my fucking sight? Consider must be applied without distinction or additional hurdles. Yeah, I bet. As at the time, more than half of the 27 member states recognize same-sex marriage. More than half. We may need to look up numbers. The Netherlands made history in 2001 by becoming the first nation in the world to do so. Others recognize themselves civil unions. This is what I was talking about before. But Poland currently does not, despite an attempt by Prime Minister Donald Tusk. Is this a fucking psyop? What is this name? What's going on? Certainly LGBTQ plus rights in the country. Okay, let me look this up. How many EU countries have same-sex marriage? 22! Apparently, 22 out of 27. Those including Andorra, Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. So, the example I gave was actually correct. I don't think Hungary allows it either. Wait, but... "22 of the 38 countries that have legalized same-sex marriage worldwide are situated in Europe." And then we have a Facebook link from 3 months ago that says 18 European Union members have legalized same-sex marriage. We have 20 here. From EU Observer, 4 days ago, only 13 of the EU member states. I guess we just don't know. Okay, I guess we just don't know. There's no information. It should be easy to know, I think, but that's a little bit strange. Once again, it's not about gay marriage. I don't care about gay marriage. I think it should be legal. I think it's fine if it's legal. I mean, you still have, in many places, same-sex civil unions, which, from the gay people I know, it's more than enough. The gay people I know don't actually want to get married, don't actually want to get kids. But they're also younger, so could be different demographics coming together here. The thing here is, the EU, once again, fucking your laws as a European country. Maybe the UK was right with Brexit. After all, not that you're doing great or anything. But at least it's a case of, fuck you, you can tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. Well, quite literally sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And a little bit strange, indeed. Need to blow my nose. Kind of stuffy. Give me a second. I just looked at the time. We might be going overtime a bit today. Maybe only a bit. We'll see. This is not from the EU, but it has to do with Europe being away? I don't really know what's going on with this. I'm not out to speed. But I thought it was a little bit strange. From alternative2.net. Griffin OS ceases operations in France amid pressure and legal threats by the government. Not a big fan of the government, imagine that. I've been screaming that for years at this point. Griffin OS has announced a complete shutdown of its operations in France. As far as I know, this is like a open source Android OS, which some people said was good. I don't know too much about it. Griffin OS has announced a complete shutdown of its operations in France, setting increased rates for open source privacy projects within the country. I mean, we just read about that in a way, so it makes sense. As what it describes as coordinated pressure from French law enforcement and media. The report says authorities have threatened to state servers and arrest developers if they refuse to add backdoors. It's always the backdoors, man. While media outlets such as Le Parisien have echoed unverified claims tying the software to criminal use. Trade leaders reject these associations, clarifying that cited examples involve unrelated copycat Android systems. Also, this is fucking hilarious, right? Some people are using your software for criminal use. Okay, cool. How about Windows 11? How about that fucking thing, Copilot? Because you could hack people through Copilot until not that long ago. We have to see as Microsoft, I guess. And no, it's a big company, it's fine. The result, the operating system will remain accessible to French users. The operating system will remain accessible to French users, but our website, Mastodon, Discourse, and Matrix servers, previously hosted on OVH, are being moved to servers in Toronto and to Netcap in Germany. And not great alternatives, but better than nothing. With key cryptographic credentials rotated and DNS moved to vtuber and by VM. Developers are now prohibited from traveling to or working in France to pursue threats. Worse than fucking terrorists, dude. What the fuck? But the stabbings, the rapes, the killings at Spike, Graphene OS, that's a step too much. How dare you, computer crimes! Tim says no confidential use of data or critical update infrastructure was stored in France. Some features like signature verification, grid protection, multi-layer update, and boot verification and secure limit protections remain unaffected, making brute force bypasses technically impossible, regardless of legal demands. Oh, there we go. According to the development team, French support for the European Union's proposed chat control legislation, so it's quite topical for today, I guess, added to the safety concerns and report the sense that France is becoming hostile to privacy-focused projects. It's not France, it's the EU, so moving to Germany is a false around. You could move to other European countries that are outside of the EU, like Switzerland or Norway. They have also been adding some strange laws that are kind of similar to chat control anyway, so I don't know, maybe just become a pirate after all. They point to political pressure for encryption backdoors and lost the criminalized refusal to disclose a device being thing! While also using on the France-based IOSP distributions like IOD OS and /E/OS. I have never seen this before. Of being scams and fake privacy products, many such cases. Misleading users with insecure products that lag behind on patches, weakened device encryption. Really happy Indians too, come on. And benefits from government funding despite offering far lower security. Oh, hold up. Liberté, égalité, and fraternité. Liberty, equality, and fraternity. France has been failing to live up to his own foundation ideas for a while. Liberty, my ass. Jesus. It's so bad, man. I mean, you can probably access it with VPNs anyway, but we all know that VPNs are next, so be careful. You could become a criminal. You wouldn't allow in open source OS, would you? Nah. But I would download the car if I could. Holy shit. What is the world coming to? I thought we all died in 2012. Well, holy shit, since 2020 everything is seeming worse. It's just like hell inside of hell. It's insane. What else do we have here? Well, I guess this makes sense. We're gonna pivot a little bit into more tech and game stuff with no real connection, but this is also from the government. It also feels really strange to me. I saw this article the other day. Oh, excuse me. I'm full of chicken and potatoes. Delicious potatoes. I saw this article the other day. I didn't read it, but I think it's really strange. I don't know what's going on here. From Edinburgh News. Edinburgh Councillor calls for action after games workers say they were sacked for organizing a union. By Joe Sullivan. Isn't this the name of the British guy that created boxing? I don't know. That's a strange tangent to go on, I guess. Edinburgh game workers who say they were fired for taking part in trade union organizing should be supported by the council, according to City Councillor. Okay. What I read didn't mention anything about the union, so that's interesting context. Late last month, 31 staff at the Edinburgh branch of games company Rockstar had their jobs terminated. The firm says they were terminated for distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum. Are they using unionizing as a protection for that? That's crazy. Huge if true. And the fires were not related to the trade union organizing. I mean, we all know that this is a big problem with games. There's always leaks. I mean, have you seen Pokemon? You have leaks all the time, for example. And yeah, it's probably against your contract. So getting terminated for that, it's not surprising. But if you see you're gonna get terminated for this, and then you unionize, I don't know. It's really suspicious. A union representing the workers involved say it was due to the organizing efforts. Green Councillor Dan Heap has put forward a motion to next week's Fair Work Committee meeting asking the council to support the staff. He wants to see council staff provide the workers with information on their welfare rights and apply for relevant financial support that could be available to them. I was about to say, can you do this? If you get fired? Yeah, I think that is correct. Additionally, his motion asked the council leader to write to the firm expressing concerns about the staff being removed for the roles and calling on them to be reinstated. Which, this was mainly what I saw. Okay, why is a judge saying something about reinstating fired people from Rockstar? I mean, if it was actually a union, maybe it seems like an attempt at a shield for them. Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, union representing some staff at the Edinburgh site, launched legal action over the dismissal earlier this month. Staff who were removed have said they believe their firing were related to server messaging platform Discord, where they say trade union organizing took place. Okay. Hold up. Fucking Discord. And they were being accused of leaking information. It would be really easy to leak information on Discord while this still remains true, right? It could be for the trade union, but you could still be breaking your contract by leaking stuff. It's not because you're in a union, okay? They said the server was invite only. You fucking idiot, most servers are invite only, that doesn't mean you can have people there that shouldn't be there anyway. It was an environment that should be protected under trade union law. Trade union law protected Discord servers. I don't know about that. According to the reporting published on Monday by trade publication People Make Games, discussion of company policy on the server may have influenced the firm's decision. Yeah, unionizing is not necessarily bad. I only seen people talking badly about unions, which is funny. But if you're talking about, let's say, NDA stuff to the union, that's still a breach of contract. Not because you're in the union, but because you told to the union something that you shouldn't have. I think this is pretty easy to understand, at least. We'll see if that's the case or not. We only have the claims, after all. The firm, including staff at the Edinburgh office, are currently working on the next installment in the GTA video game franchise, which is set for release next November. Now, is this a name? Hold up. No, that's Chancellor? Councillor. Councillor Hibbs' motion will be discussed at the next meeting of the Housing, Homelessness and Fair Work Committee on Tuesday, December 2nd. Saying about a week. No, not even a week. Next Tuesday. 29th already. What the hell? That's kind of suspicious. I guess this was a more interesting story than I expected for different reasons. Is that indie game workers? It's hard to tell. Apparently some of the complaints they got and why they should reinstate these workers was because they were having protests outside and they were disturbing the peace, which is annoying. Not illegal, but annoying nonetheless. Kinda funny. We'll see what happens with that. That's why we're having an update next Saturday. And we'll try to pay attention to this. What do we have here? Okay. Speaking of privacy, speaking of security, everything is the same. I only have a topic for today, I guess. How about fucking Roblox of all people? Roblox CEO defends AI facial age scans, says predator problem is also an opportunity. Oh boy. I think this is probably the worst thing you could do on Roblox. Anyway, not a big fan of the pedophile game. Roblox CEO David Bazooka has defended the platform's new AI-powered facial age estimation system. Stating he views Roblox's predator problem not necessarily just a problem, but an opportunity. The comments come as Roblox faces lawsuits and public scrutiny over child safety on the platform. Bazooka joined the New York Times Hard Fork, okay, podcast to discuss Roblox's decision to roll out mandatory facial age estimation for users who want full communication features. Once again, they fail to properly work, in this case I would say even within the law, not just within their TOS. And their solution, you know what? Less anonymity, more control. Companies, countries, states, happening literally everywhere right now. If you're incompetent, that's your fault. I will not be vulnerized because of this, okay? The company says the system, which does not store images, fucking bullshit. Every single system does. We've seen this before. Oh, it's the coffee app. It's the tea app. It keeps happening. Both of them, literally the same mistake. We don't store images. They did. You only needed to see the URL to access literally everything. Congratulations. Then this also happened to other similar system. Don't remember which one, but I swear to God I remember reading about it on a stream. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They don't throw images, bull. It's just bull, and also shit. It's shit bull. We'll have separate minds from adults and restrict chat between distant age groups. Roblox previously relied on text filtering, photo ID uploads, and self-reported ages. Photo ID uploads, surely that's not a problem. Which the company acknowledges are less reliable at scale. Also, once again, AI facial age scans, we've seen them fail time and time again. What if you look too young? Ah, you're clearly 13. What do you mean? It's like 27. What are you doing? A lot of people that look younger than they actually are, so that's a big problem. That's also gonna happen, probably, with this child sexual abuse stuff. We're gonna see the bodies of adults that are on the smaller side, but they're completely legal, and you're gonna say, oh, illegal content. Well, you don't know that. But they don't really care, that's not the point anyway. CEO calls the safety challenging opportunity. When asked directly about the scale of predator activity on Roblox, Bazooka said the issue... I'm gonna call this guy Bazooka, it's a little bit funny at least. Said the issue is not necessarily just as a problem, but an opportunity as well, and that Roblox has been working on safety systems since its earliest years. If this was true, it wouldn't be known as the pedophile game or the groomer game, come on. It's even worse than Minecraft, at least Minecraft can be a single player. He said at the platform size, 150 million daily active users, and 11 billion hours played each month as a trigger for adopting new technologies like facial age estimation. What about you pay attention when people report cases of grooming to you directly? Like that YouTube guy. That's why you are in legal trouble, okay? You're just trying to deflect. Good luck with that. It works by prompting users to scan their face using a phone or computer. Bazooka said the results are generated automatically and used alongside the system signals to determine age ranges. According to him, combining multiple inputs really helps determining accurate ages and prevent minors from misrepresenting themselves. This is trusting technology a little bit too much. Not because I consider the technology to be flawed, which I already mentioned why, but using a phone or a computer. What do you do if you don't have a phone with a camera? What do you do if you don't have a webcam? And you might be thinking, how is that possible? How is that possible nowadays? I can give you a good example of this. My brother-in-law. He has an old phone. I think it's like a really old Nokia. Only calls, only messages. Not even basic image. And he doesn't own a webcam. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get into Roblox, but what do you do about verifying people that like the thing? Oh, you had to buy it. Maybe I will find a way to bypass it. Because you can always bypass pretty much everything. Pushback as also comments in the interview. Then in the conversation, show host Cassie Newton references ongoing lawsuits and investigations that describe Roblox as a place where predators go to find kids. Accurate? At first I always thought this was a meme until you saw this huge case happening and was like, oh! Well, when there is smoke, there is fire. Bazooka couldn't reject that criticization. Of course you will. Saying, I would categorically reject the actual description of what you're saying. That he acknowledged the media coverage may frame that way. It was not just the media. But sure. Ethan pressed further, asking whether Roblox believes it has a predator problem. Bazooka responded by saying the company is doing an incredible job at innovating. Deflection. Deflection. The parries are so real. Maybe that's why people enjoy Souls games so much. Reflection in the game, deflection in real life. To stay ahead of safety risks, bullshit. Pointing again to Roblox's investment in filtering systems and new age checks. He did not directly confirm or deny the extent of the problem described in lawsuits. He shouldn't, to be fair, he shouldn't, because it's an ongoing lawsuit. The interview also touched on concerns about users bypassing age checks. Bazooka said Roblox can recheck ages dynamically and use device signals to detect inconsistencies, arguing it will become increasingly difficult for users to spoof their identity. Detecting inconsistencies? What kind? Because let's say, just to give an example, you're a man. There can be really obvious inconsistencies with your looks. You can have different styles of hair. You can have different lengths of a beard. Is that going to count as an inconsistency and you get locked out because, you're cheating? I mean, it's AI. I could believe it. Roblox recently announced that children will be blocked from chatting with adults or much older teens unless their ages are verified as similar. A policy change that followed multiple lawsuits, alleging the platform failed to prevent grooming. Literally grooming, they're saying it here. That's crazy. I don't know if that's gonna work. It's also an interesting case of how the culture has changed in the internet. Because I guess I need to mention this every single time, right? It keeps happening. I've been in the internet for a long time. I'm an old man. I'm not the guy that's gonna tell you, I was here since the beginning. Okay, little kids. But I've been here for a long ass fucking time. And back in the day, of course, you had some kids going into the internet. Like me. I started using the internet when I was like 13 to 14, so you have an idea. Back then, kids were trying to not show themselves as kids because they understood that was a big problem. Sure, you will still be playing games and whatnot, but you don't need to be like, oh yeah, please, I'm just a little kid. No. You try to be, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm 18 plus. I'm also an adult. Please. Do not treat me in such a childish way. And now you have, because I've seen it on Twitter, for example, users that have on their Twitter bio stuff like, I'm a minor, please don't groom me. It's a ridiculous thing to say. Oh, they said no. I guess we cannot groom them anymore. Yeah, groomers will not care about that. If anything, they will see that and consider, oh, this is stupid fucking idiot. Lucky. Come on. Jesus Christ, like that meme you see around, which I cannot say every single word because it has slurs, right? But it's the Sojak saying, I'm gonna change the text a little bit, but you understand exactly what I'm saying. I'm just a weak little bitch, and these are my vulnerabilities, please don't use them against me. Why would you want to be weak? But then again, I keep wondering about that. That's modern society, I just don't get it. It's really strange. What else do we have here? What else do we have? Okay, alright. I think I'm gonna be a little bit selective with what I have left. Because some of these articles I probably should check first if I'm gonna be real. So let's keep going through this tech tirade. Microsoft has tables and more AI to Notepad. AI to Notepad. The fuck? What happened to the app we loved? I have no clue. Notepad is changing fast in Windows 11, but many users said its simplicity is slipping away. I really recommend people to use Notepad++. Really useful. Since I've known about it, I've used it for literally everything. It's really good. You can have options for, oh yeah, this is meant to be reading this programming language, so just give me the color coding. You have lines and you can mark them. It's really useful. You can have a billion tabs. I do have a billion tabs. I should save a bunch of them. But that's not the point. It's really useful. Really easy to install and use. Let's see. Windows 11's Notepad app has new features in the works, and not everyone is happy about them. Windows Insiders in the Canary and Dev channel on Windows 11 can attest to new features for Notepad. Microsoft announced the additions recently in a blog post. Lightweight formatting in Notepad is being expanded to support tables. Doesn't make any sense. That's not a Notepad. If you told me that it was WordPad, it was WordPad? I don't know. You know, the more complex text program, that would make sense. But no, this is not bad. This should be the most simple of things, but it isn't. Those with access to the experimental features can insert tables into document to structure notes. And it's not Notepad. I think they have a screenshot for that, which is a bit of a shame. Notepad supports adding tables through formatting toolbar or by using Markdown syntax. Markdown in Notepad. Yeah, I don't know about that. The addition of tables is a continuation of Microsoft's work to add formatting to Notepad. Back in May, the giant added support for bold and italics, hyperlinks, lists, and headings. You don't need any of this for Notepad. I could accept links, but that's pretty much it. More controversially, Notepad has also gained new capabilities. The app now supports streaming responses when using the pre-write, and summarize tools. This makes responses appear more quickly. So I'm assuming, write, and summarize tools. I don't know what you would need those on Notepad. I'm assuming that's more AI trash. No idea. Normally speeding up a feature is a welcome change, but online feedback suggests that improve the speed fails to counteract the fact that many do not want AI in Notepad at all. Ah, but it's the AI computer. Ah, the future is so bright. Ah, it burns. Oh, the flames of hell. Well, that makes sense. Many have already complained about Microsoft adding more AI to Notepad. Keyword more, I would say here. Are they now letting Notepad be super light and efficient? The super light and efficient tool that it is. Because of Microsoft, nothing can be efficient anymore. Said Reddit user Shovel Issues 88. Nah, that's a name. I swear, Microsoft doesn't even stand their own products, just feature product at this point. Yes, literally true. We're all about that woman who was working as a designer, feature designer, I think, for Windows 11. Never used a computer before. Seems like a great idea. Surely it will be okay. Was she Indian? Of course she was. I mean, I'm not saying it's because she's a woman. I'm not saying it's because she's Indian. But I'm noticing. Similar sentiments were shared by several people in the same thread. I don't even trust using Notepad anymore. It used to be a super light, simple tool for quick notes, and it comes packed with AI and a bunch of unnecessary features nobody asked for. So the user froze gate. At this point, they might as well have everyone use Word instead. Oh! Yeah, it was WordPad. Others jagged about how Microsoft killed WordPad only to gradually add features from that app into Notepad. Why would you do this? They are trying to reinvent trash, in a way. Not saying that WordPad is bad, but trying to reinvent WordPad into Notepad is trash. And I think it's a growing issue. Tech giants, including Microsoft, continue to push AI and introduce AI features where many feel those tools are necessary. Then you want your AI-powered manual vacuum cleaner. That's gonna be my example for months at this point, until I find something even more hilarious. It's almost December, so anything could happen. The reaction to the latest addition to Notepad is another echo of the growing frustration across the community. Yeah. People asking about Notepad++. It's very useful. Kind of an annoying thing about Notepad++ that you get constant updates, which become a little bit annoying. I don't really mind them, but you get that additional window. Hey, there are updates. Do you want to install the package? Well, what about the have package for you right here? But I think you can add like some additional models and whatnot. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you want it to be simple, it's simple already. If you make it complicated, you can do it. That's what we used back in my day when we were learning HTML. Funny enough. Super light. And it works, so it's great. Also really great for editing strange formats of files, which is good. And speaking of Microsoft AI, I found this post the other day that I thought was extremely interesting. This guy is gonna mention a bunch of stuff that even I don't understand fully, but the TLDR is absolutely beautiful. It's about the new Copilot on Windows 11. If you thought it was bad, you haven't seen anything yet. I had a surprising amount of people ask me about Copilot and the stick I'm poking it with. Copilot is a hot topic, so some people are genuinely interested in how it works. I can't really give a good TLDR because I'm still poking it with a stick. It's a lot of stuff I don't quite understand, as is tradition. I mean, it's understandable, you're just poking stuff. Yeah, kind of close that tab because it keeps reloading on its own, it's really annoying. So I can only share some of my insights and speculations. Copilot.exe, the main binary, is just a .NET random host. MSDA has some articles about it. Basically, the .exe you execute does a bunch of fancy shit. It modifies some stuff in the .exe itself, which I don't know if that makes sense. Through the environment block for customer handling to be all fancy or whatever. It eventually invokes the Windows Library Core Language Runtime Library. That's a mouthful. Function core_execute_assembly, and the real Copilot runs from copilot.dll. Copilot.dll, I just call it Copilot, whatever, is a big as fuck off C#.NET application with what feels like over 9,000 dependencies and libraries. It's a big, heavy-bloated son of a bitch. So, take away from now, when you open Copilot, you don't open Copilot. It opens something else that's actually Copilot, and it's huge. Copilot determines the .NET version it's supposed to run on from a JSON file in the current directory titled runtimeconfig.json. Copilot uses Microsoft UI, XAML, WinUI 3? Question mark? Even this guy is not sure about this. So it is ridiculously heavy and feel like it lags constantly. Foreshadowing, it's actual lag, by the way. Copilot does all AI stuff server-side at Microsoft-Microsoft-com/c/API. It looks like it authenticates to the Copilot services in the Microsoft account you make when you first set up Windows 11. It looks like it may also support Apple and Google, but I haven't bugged it enough. Here's taking Copilot to view and go through a URI thingy. It's some C#.NET bullshit. I barely understand it. You can listen to all the different views and the URIs. You go through in Copilot to load different views. Different parts of Copilot, maybe? Even simple answers viewing a different view, scrolling up to see previous messages sent to Copilot, etc. I'll go through API requests to Microsoft. It's all stored over under stuff. Hence, Copilot can feel ridiculously slow when scrolling up to review message history. It goes through stuff like get conversation history endpoint instead of Copilot.platform, a bunch of numbers for the app. So you don't actually have Copilot on Windows 11. You have, it's gonna explain it further down here. It's like a really fancy web browser, but Copilot is in Microsoft servers. It will always be laggy because it's not native to the OS. Funny. Really funny, and as we can see here, it's not being optimized. It just says this here. So anything you do is going through their web API. It slows things down dramatically. Even renaming a conversation makes a web call. You may think, of course, it has to do it. That's the problem. You have to do you have to make a web call every single time because everything is server side. So even manual tasks are gonna take more than they should. Also, anytime you send a message to Copilot, it goes through a fucking massive nested procedure that advances all through all the dependencies. However, this is pretty standard for stuff for big .NET applications. I don't know, I never worked on big .NET applications. The most I did, we had some C# server-side stuff. It was a fucking disaster. Not because it was C# or anything like that, but because the architecture was just a fucking mess. Imagine my shock. To make a long story short, each message you send, I think it's missing a verb here. Each message you send to Copilot is tokenized or rather placed into a dictionary. The dictionary contains the data you're sending and any files you're attaching. Part of this process, Copilot makes a very minor attempt at sanitizing data for anonymity. It's hilarious. It doesn't really work. Copilot has different stuff in place for removing data and sensitive information, but the actual act of sending a message to Copilot only censors file paths from your machine. You just send the file. In other words, users tummy poop file.txt becomes users redacted file.txt. It's not a whole lot. I want to say they're trying, but I don't think that is true even. I haven't seen anywhere else where this logic is implemented, but it probably does some more stuff somewhere. I thought they'd include all this PII censoring logic for no reason. It might be because of the hacking thing we've seen the other day. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but it seems reasonable. Copilot also has stuff in place for advertisement identifiers, which this reminds me all the time of that Futurama episode with ads during your dreams, health and fitness, shopping habits, etc. I'm not sure what that's all about. I also see the gaming stuff, but I haven't pointed at that yet either. You know why? If everything in this OS 3, you are the product, well, they're using you to make money. What better way than taking your data? Copilot also has a bunch of stuff for Picasso AI, for Picasso Labs, Picasso Finance, Picasso Briefings, my bad. I don't know if this is a third-party thing or something they made internally. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I mean, if it's Picasso, you would expect something like image generation, right? I think that would make sense, but then again, finance? I mean, if you want to make like charts, maybe. I think I'm grasping here. I don't know either. Anyway, this is my scattered thoughts on Copilot. It is basically a really fancy web browser that can only be used to communicate with Microsoft's AI endpoints. I quickly realized that if you go to Windows System 32 drivers, etc. hosts, and make an entry point that makes the Microsoft Copilot AI domain resolve to localhost, Copilot implodes and drops dead. It can no longer access any API endpoints, hence it cannot exist. And we have here TLDR, to kill Copilot forever, just blog copilot.microsoft.com. That's easy. Absolutely killed. With a single thing. Hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. So, as I keep saying, this AI stuff is just a bunch of smokes, mirrors, bright lights, and shiny colors. Once again, I do believe AI has a lot of potential. We can use AI for a lot of things, because I'm gonna be real, I've been using AI to find specific videos in specific tweets, because Google and YouTube are absolute trash, so Grok is just better. But it's not because Grok is good, it's because Google and YouTube are trash now. So if you have a good description of what you're looking at, Grok is usually pretty good at finding it. I had a lot of success finding stuff that I needed for a couple of videos. So that's okay. Is the AI good? No, it shows constantly. We checked that here on stream before. It's kind of funny sometimes. AI cannot read charts at all. absolutely cannot. They just die, they just collapse and implode, it's insane. But that's not the kind of AI I have a problem with. I don't even have a problem with generative AI as a thing. I understand that there might be copyright issues and whatnot. Sure, that's fair. But they're trying to sell you AI is a fancy cure. Oh, it's AI. It does everything. Well, no, it doesn't. It's literally the same as NFTs in a way. Oh, look, NFTs. These special tokens, they can do anything. Okay, sure, they have the potential to do anything, but they're doing nothing. You're using them as placeholders just to... speculation. See, you could use NFTs as special passes. Yeah, you could, but you don't. I don't care what it can do eventually in the future. I care about what it can do now. And what it can do now, limited, it's improving, but it's not just the perfect solution. It cannot do literally everything. I'm trolling now, holy shit. Becoming stupid by the second here. And okay, before I get to the last article for today, I want to bring a short tweet here because I hate video game remakes with a passion. They are never better. In this case, I find it absolutely hilarious. This is from Grams about the new Prince of Persia remake. Prince of Persia, Sons of Time, allegedly leaked image versus original. Well, it's alleged. We can give them the benefit of the doubt. First now, Girl Boss. With the standard pieces, it's recorded slide for Princess 4. In the version she's described as 19, cold-hearted, graceful, strong-willed, the child of the Maharaja, and an agile, trained archer. The Vizier is listed as her former tutor, which helped set up their shared history. Her personality is framed as honest and driven. Someone has spent most of her life preparing to become queen, and prove she's ready for the role. This is your original game. Can we see everything? Yeah, we can see everything here. It's small enough. They're Persians. Do you know where Persia is? It's about location of modern-day Iran. About. You can see them. Okay, yeah, sure. They actually look more pale than you think. They look a little bit more pale than your normal Arab. They look more pale than the North Africans, usually. Yeah, that makes sense. She kinda looks like Prince Jasmine from Aladdin. Apparently this is the new one. Why do they look Indian? What? Tsar of Persia. Do not redeem? I don't know, it's really strange. It's really strange, of course. The outfit for the guy is a little bit simplified. I don't think it looks as good, not even the outfit, if it's actually true. Really strange stuff going on here. I mean, it's... as of right now, I think it's still alleged, so... massive grain of salt, but it's really strange how they keep changing stuff. So much for Persia, I suppose. And since it's getting a little bit late, I don't want to go too much over time. Let us talk about the final article for today, shall we? It was foreshadowing, I was not lying. We mentioned magic later. If you think Magic the Gathering is turned into slop, its head designer thinks you might be a fascist. How the hell do you come to that conclusion? Well, I guess I'm not a fascist. I don't think it's turned into slop. It's been a slop for a while. Oh, brother. Surely this is gonna help us, so... trading cards. Trading cards? Well, the most bizarre criticism, deflation sinking in recent memory. Magic the Gathering head designer Mark Rosewater has written off the ever-growing number of players who believe the game is turned into slop. On the grounds that rather than genuine criticism, he believes they're just trading in fascist rhetoric. It's low quality. Why do you like Hitler? Well, I'm not from Namibia, okay? Please understand. I could never be that black. Not in this lifetime. This reminds me of a tweet I saw. This was months ago. I think it was from Sleepy. I'm not sure. She was asking if Magic the Gathering was becoming the Fortnite of card games, and some people were replying, "Becoming? Nah, it's been the Fortnite of card games for quite a while already." Sang Spider, Nimble Weber, Spider Human Hero. Well, that's not the kind of card I expect when I make a spider deck, but it works. Breaking expectations and enjoying it. Nah, this is a jab. This is a jab. Imprisonment slang is to derogatorily describe a product, trait, or performance that exists solely to lazily ride market trends. The term slab came to recent prominence in the MTG world, thanks to professional player Jeffrey White, who in September centered the world in a lengthy critique regarding the game's growing focus on the Commander format. Well, I've been calling this slab for more than that, but I guess I don't count. The Cruel Tutor is just a screenshot from the show. It's so ugly. I know this is not the first Secret Lair that does this. It's still really low quality, and some of these cards are just impossible to read. Especially the superhero ones. Ugh, it's so difficult. Ghostly Prison, by the way. You have a favorite restaurant that you've dined at for many years now. You love it because they serve high quality food and are staffed by people who care about making the experience of eating at the restaurant good. One day you notice a new item on the menu. Slab. What is this for? You ask the waiter. It's for the pigs. Pigs, it's slab. One time a second flavor slab shows up on the menu, then a third. Then you notice that some of the old menu items you used to love now come with a non-optional side of slab. All menu items are now designed with the pigs in mind. Those filthy animals. On the chance that one of them might try their hand at human food. The quality and preparation of the human food that's left on the menu also starts to degrade. That's right. What the hell is going on? What is this? That's the third time, and it wasn't funny the first two times either, Jim. Jim Halper. Dwight. Isn't this like The Office? One of those shows, right? What the hell? Even more strange than Transformers. When you ask the restaurant staff about it, they inform you that they no longer have the resources to make sure the human food is prepared correctly. They're too busy making slop. Do you notice that some of the restaurant patrons that you've become good friends with have stopped showing up? Just stop showing up. You're upset with the direction the restaurant is taking, and post about it on social media. You get the types of replies. I am a pig, and I eat a slop. You see this all the time. Trust me, I've seen this for years, talking about games. The restaurant is doing so well and has so many patrons. How can you be upset? Because the restaurant is not giving me what I want to eat. What about that? They don't have to, but they used to, and that's my problem. I think that's easy to understand. It should be. Getting more customers into the restaurant has to be a good thing. The second comment is particularly frustrating, because it naively assumes that the entire restaurant clientele wants the same thing. And good point. A good point. But you don't want 5 different flavors of a slab. You want human food that is prepared by people who are passionate about food, and who care about the experience of dining and the restaurant being a good one. It's something you used to be able to get here, but you can't anymore. How many times have we seen this? Way too many. I do feel this guy. It's not that I hate Magic, right? I enjoy the idea of the game, but I cannot approve of Wizards of the Coast practices. Absolutely not. Yeah, truly insane, especially in recent times. You don't care if there are more pigs eating at the restaurant now. You like things just fine when there were no pigs, and contrary to the sentiment, things have gotten worse for you as the restaurant has grown, not better. Also, I'm gonna mention something really interesting that just came to me. The restaurant is doing so well and has so many patrons. How can you be upset? Making money, even if the product is bad, is good. Most of the people that say this are actual communists, which doesn't make any sense. They are the first guys to push forward the worst type of capitalism. That's insane. But I guess it makes sense. This is the post. If need be. From Jeffrey White. Why do you have kanji there then, if you're so white? Who cares? And this critique was specifically in reference to Commander formatting, was lack of specification in Woods of the Coast, then recent announcement that for next year's 7 total MTU sets will be based on third-party APs, led many players to presume that he was worrying about the games weren't focusing on versus Beyond. It's the same as Fortnite with the collabs with literally everything. With White's powers adding fuel to both the Commander and Universes Beyond discourse, one chooses player to Rosewater's Tumblr page. Using Tumblr in this day and age? Wow! That's surprising. And that's him for his take on the entire situation. I mean, it's Tumblr, so it makes sense. In turn, the MTG design lead asserted, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this particular topic, but I will say one thing. If you're comparing humans to animals, in a derogatory manner, you're historically in a very bad company. You filthy animals. I don't think this guy is wrong with his comparison, because some people will eat literally anything, even if it's the lowest quality trash you've ever seen. There was also a tweet being around. I didn't save it. I wouldn't expect it to make sense for this article even. People just call everything slob nowadays. They just dismiss actual criticism when they actually mean it's just not made for them. No, that's not what we mean when we say slob. Half of the time I just use the term trash. It sounds better to me. I'm tired of the slob term too, even though I use it sometimes. I'm only human, okay? What this guy said was completely correct. I like some games, but the games change and then become something else. Something that's an absolute betrayal to their core public, player base, customer base. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's the proper term here. And it's an inversion of their design. We've seen this happen time and time again. Oh, the Final Fantasy 16 is so good. What do you mean it plays like baby's first Devil May Cry? What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, Pokemon games. What do you mean no more turn-based combat? So on and so forth. It happens all the time. I wanted it because it was good. Now it's not. You lost the essence of what made it good, trying to find a bigger public. And sure, you got a bigger public because you got a bunch of people that will buy just anything, even if it's just the worst trash imaginable. Shoutouts to Monster Hunter Wilds, by the way. Speaking of they're mentioning it here. We can finish this, right? We can finish this. It's another dialogue about quality, I suppose. They kept it vague. Rosewater is clearly insinuating that anyone who uses the term slab is in the company of the various authoritarian and fascist movements throughout history, many of which through explicit comparisons their enemies and detractors to animals, in order to dehumanize them in the minds of their supporters. If I call you filthy animal, it's not to dehumanize you, it's to show you that you're being stupid, and you should be better. You fucking idiot. Maybe that's just me. Ultimately, in terms of whether or not this will actually help smooth things over for Commander and Universes Beyond critical players for WotC, it's not going to happen. As the line goes, it's a bold strategy, Captain. Let's see if it pays up for them. But the chance, I guess, one telling comparing unhappy players to history's most evil ideologues simply for criticizing the state of their favorite game with an absolutely appropriate metaphor, it's probably not gonna fly well. It's probably not gonna happen. Oh, this guy with Rex. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this particular topic, but I will say one thing. If you're comparing humans to animals in a derogatory manner, you're historically in a very bad company. It's kind of language for I had no valid content points, nothing more. True and real. And there's really fair criticism about new magic cards. I've seen people that are still playing, they tell you, okay, this is powerful, This is way too powerful. This is insanely strong. These cards were not tested. It's just insane power creep. And something I wanted to mention, because I brought up Monster Hunter Wilds. It's not just about Monster Hunter, but it is also about Monster Hunter. We live in one of the most stupid times ever. I see all the time extremely incompetent people. And we've seen really incompetent people just literally everywhere. We just talked about Copilot, we just talked about the government. Great examples. But we've been seeing this for a long time too. With video games. With people that make video games. And it is insane to me. Because they will tell you, but making games is so difficult. You don't understand, we're doing our best. No, you're not. I'm sick and tired of this. Because you see stuff like, I don't know, Borderlands 4, it's released, and you had what's the director, the CEO of the company, I'm not sure about the role of that guy. He was just collapsing on Twitter. People are complaining, you need a better computer. And people were like, I cannot have a better computer. I literally have a 5090 GPU. There's nothing better than this. And the game still chokes. He was like, well, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. We are working with the best experts in Unreal Engine 5. In about a week, a guy, just a guy, a random guy, was like, I released the mod. It fixes not everything, but most of the problems for performance. Just a guy fixed the game by making a mod. How do you explain that? Monster Hunter Wilds, despite its many design flaws, the biggest problem that people have with it is that it doesn't work. The performance is just abysmal. The game released, if I'm not mistaken, February 28th. It is November 29th at this point in time. It's been 9 months, and I've only seen people complaining that each patch, the game works worse. Which is insane. The other day, about a week ago, I found a guy, just a guy, that fixed the performance problems with a mod. Do you know what the problem was? The textures. Because you cannot have the textures that you want installed directly. There's a single set of textures and they get re-escalated. And the re-escalation chokes a lot. If you add the mod, sure, it's gonna make the game even heavier, but if you're gonna add the correct textures, you don't need to re-escalate them. The game works fine. Now you can actually complain about the actual design philosophy being dogshit. But this has been happening for a long time. It's insane. It's crazy. It keeps happening. I keep seeing new, especially in tech, things being released and I'm like, this is not going to work. I can tell you right now, without even trying this, especially when it comes from the government, because hey no, they're really bad and they're 15 years behind. But especially with Microsoft, it's just ass. Look, a new version. And even Microsoft themselves came out saying, yeah, a lot of things are breaking the OS every single patch, and basic things like the File Explorer or the Task Manager. It's insanity. It is insanity. It's clear that all of these companies are full of incompetent people. That's why you see constant layoffs, but it's not enough. Because you don't have enough competent people anyway. And when those people just retire, what are you going to do? People keep complaining about the games. They're not that bad. The games don't even work, dude. They don't even work. Many new games look worse. AAA games. New AAA games look worse than AAA games from 10 years ago, which is absolute insanity. There's no excuse in this. There's no excuse in this. And it's not just games, it's not just Windows 11, it's when you see actual infrastructure in your country being in a really dangerous condition. I don't remember where it was, but many dams in the double digits, and I'm not talking about 10 or 20, I'm talking about more than that, more than 40 dams. Those big places that collect water, yeah, those. Being in the brink of collapse. We're entering a point in time where society is about to collapse. I don't know how the fuck do we fix this. AI, it's not going to fix it. I wish it was the solution, but I don't think so. It's really dire. I don't want to finish a stream today with this kind of conversation, but I think it's an important conversation to have anyway. It do be dire out here, okay? People have been convinced, oh, you have to go to college, you need to get a career, and then they get dog shit degrees. Oh, look, it's gender studies, and the basis of society, like plumbers and electricians, are working 24/7. They get no breaks. They're working constantly because they're not enough. And I understand that blue-collar jobs are not for everybody, but there's nothing wrong with being an electrician. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber. I know a little bit about electricity because that's something I studied in school. I wouldn't be able to fix everything at home. I can only fix so much. I only know so much, right? My knowledge is really limited. I don't really know a lot about plumbing either, so it's really important. It's really important for society. Society! But now it's fair to complain about shit that doesn't matter on social media. Doesn't this come as ironic coming from me? Because I do complain about the stuff. I do believe the stuff I complain about is actually important, right? We're talking about privacy, we're talking about security. I don't think that's nothing, nothing burger. I'm not talking about, I'm being offended on the internet. No. I'm talking about the government encroaching into the rights of people. That seems bad. Bad enough at least. Anyway. I guess it's time for me to take my leave. So thank you all for coming. I hope you had some fun with my ramblings. I don't know, man. I don't know. We didn't really have funny articles for today. We had important articles for today. It's really important to understand what's going on, in my opinion. We're coming back on Monday. The plan was to start Yakuza 3. It's still the plan. The schedule will be up tomorrow evening as usual. I want to check some stuff to make sure that I know what's gonna be for Thursday. And we'll see. We may have the Wind Waker finale too, so that's exciting. Oh boy. Feels like I'm going crazy here. Scream it to the void! Anyway. Thank you for coming. I'm pissing the fuck out. Coming back on Monday. Until then, you know the rules. Never fall for the lives of these people. Never fall for their incompetence. If you think they're fucking with you, they're probably fucking with you. Also install a VPN. It's gonna be useful. And take care.